Hello and welcome back to Calmsden, and this is definitely the last video we are doing on this version 1.1 of the map. So from here we'll be going on to version 1.2 finally. Before we do that, we have a bunch of grass to mow. I wanted to get this cut before we move because I'm going to be adding in precision farming. I didn't want any funnies with fertilization states and stuff. Just want to say thank you to the patrons and the channel members. Have an additional patron that's not on there because you joined after I edited this video. So thank you, Rob. I think it's Rob. Sorry, I am awful with names. I'll remember at some point. I know you're a regular chatting on Discord, so yeah, really appreciate you joining the Patreon as well. Hope you enjoy the exclusive stuff that's on there. Yeah, so as I was saying, that gives you a little... I randomly throw that in when I think I'm not going to be busy talking when I edit, and then it throws up when I'm trying to record the commentary. I'm not sure why I'm looking in the store there, but yeah, anyway, the reason I'm doing it now is I'm adding in precision farming when we move to version 1.2 of the map. And I didn't want any strange effects with fertilizing and all that kind of thing. So I figured I'd just do it first, and then we'll move, and you know we'll progress from there with precision farming. But we have a lot of grass to cut. We have the cow field, which we're in now because the cows don't graze. And yeah, thank you for the, I think it was the real numbers mod or something like that. That's someone pointed out, which sort of simulates grazing by reducing what the cows eat, but it doesn't cut the grass, I don't think. So yeah. I'm going to stick with what I'm doing now. I'll keep feeding them, and I'll just mow their grass and feed it to them because they're too lazy to eat it out of the field. Yeah, so we've got the cow field, we've got field 8 to do, we've got half of field 12 to do, we've got the field up by the horse pasture and the one by the garden centre, so lots of mowing to do. It's all going to be baled because our silage pits are both full, so we're going to have to bale it. That's not a problem because what I'm doing is just storing it on our grass fields, basically. Around the margins of some of the more remote grass fields, I am storing the excess bales. That's A, because we don't need them on the farm at the moment, but I think we will. And B, if they're far away, they're not being rendered, so they're not causing lag. That's the theory anyway. There are a few options now for bale storage sheds. There's the one that I use on Greenlands, and there's another one by Hot Farms. I think it's Hot Farms or Hot Online Modding Team, something like that. It's called Hot, which are, I think they're a German modding team. They do some pretty cool stuff, and they've got basically some bale stacks. So you put the bales in, and it forms a bale stack for you. But I'm happy with just storing them the way we are at the moment. And it means that when we ever get to using up the ones that we've got stored in the yard there, we can just lease a bale stacker and go and collect a few more. Yeah, that's the plan. At the moment, we're not too bad off, but I'd rather keep them at the moment. I'd rather have too much silage on hand than get to the point where we don't have enough. We are having calves every 10 months. You get calves, so yeah, the herd is growing slowly. Once it gets to a certain point, I do still think that we might end up putting cows on here. And I might do like I'm doing on Greenlands then, and the younger cows will be out on the pasture and will graze. Or I basically won't feed them until they get to past puberty, and then we'll move them into the cow shed and feed them up. If the dairy cows, will keep them. If they're beef cattle, we'll sell them. It's kind of the plan, I think. We might keep the older beef cattle and move those into the shed to have calves, so we get more beef cattle as well. I'm not sure. So with this, I am doing a mixture of courseplay and me doing the work. So I have the Puma running on courseplay. I cannot remember which field it's in, whilst we windrow the fields here. Basically, I wanted to do a bit of everything, but I also appreciated that I didn't have time to do everything with playing on 5 times. So yeah, I did a mixture. which I think is gives a better balance to the video. I think that me not, showing absolutely everything, or B using courseplay for everything. So we've had back-to-back grasswork videos now, because someone was an idiot and uploaded the wrong video for Greenlands on Friday. So you would have seen that yesterday. Because it took me 2 more attempts to get that video to work. I don't know what was going on with that, but yeah. So that one was also grasswork. That was also doing silage bales, but there was a lot more courseplay because we've got a lot of grass on there, and trying to do a lot of automation. So here there's a bit of a mixture, a bit of manual work, a bit of automation, a bit of follow me later on. But yeah, just a bit of everything really. And to make him doing silage is one of my favourite bits of the game. And I know I've said it so many times, I hate mowing the lawn. I hate it in the real world. In Farm Sim, I love it. It's one I find it very relaxing. It's like ploughing. Like when I ploughed the field we were just driving past. I really enjoyed that. I just kind of switched my brain off for a bit, and we ploughed a big old field. Yeah, it's one of the bits of the game that I enjoy. I enjoy most of the game. I'm just trying. I know I complain about bits of the game, but I don't think there's liming. I was going to say I don't think there's a job I dislike. Liming, I'm not a fan of. Which is weird because I don't mind spreading fertilizer. So, yeah. This is where the mower is. It's up in the secret field. And yeah, trying to get it to go around the islands that are there from the trees. And we are up in field 12, just getting that road up, and then we're going to have to bring the baler around all 3 of these fields that we have manually mown and windrowed. I think next year we might swap sides and we might put grass in the side we had beets in there, and maybe potatoes in the other side. And we got, I think it's about 120,000 litres of sugar beet off that little plot of land, which is more than we need. So yeah, I'm thinking that we may do the other side of field 12 as potatoes in the new year. I'm still trying to work out what and how I'm going to plant. So appreciate everyone's feedback on field leasing and game difficulty. So I have switched to normal game difficulty, and I'm looking at probably leasing fields 9 and 10. Although leasing field 9 is really expensive. And I've got the next 2 Calmsden videos recorded, and I'm wondering if we just save up to buy field 10. I'm not going to do not going to commit to either of those until the spring, because I don't see the point in us paying for a lease through the winter when we're not really going to gain anything from it. So maybe gaming the system a little bit, but I just don't want to spend the money unnecessarily, and it might change what we do, because we might end up earning enough that we can buy field 10 straight out, and I'd probably rather do that than at least 2 fields. What I'm thinking, if that was the case, we'll split field 6 in half, we'll have field 10, and we'll use the field up behind the shop as an arable field again for next year. That'll give us effectively 4 arable fields, because I think we'll plough in the grass on field 10. I don't think we need another grass field with where we are at the moment, and maybe we can replant that as grass later on. So one of the things that I do want to try and do, I don't know how it'll work on here, but definitely on Greenlands, is I want to rotate my grass fields. I don't want them to permanently be grass fields. So yeah, probably after harvest on Greenlands, we'll rotate around which fields are grass and which fields are arable. And I've just been watching a Cow Farmer Dan video, and they do that. So their sugar beet field this year, or their fodder beet field, I think they're pretty much the same thing. Someone who knows will probably correct me. Their fodder beet field for this year was grass last year, and I like the idea of rotating that. We don't get the benefit that we had with seasons in FS19, where I used to use grass as a cover crop every year for corn, because it gave me a 20% boost in yield on the corn that I would get. And you could kind of double crop a cornfield. Then you could do corn for silage. You could then plant grass. It would grow. You'd get a cut off it in the spring, and then you could plant the corn and repeat. and that worked really well. In fact, the local farmer here who grows the one field of corn that I can see from my house is he's gone corn on corn, so we'll see how that goes. So just grabbed the bale wrapper and changed the wrap colour. I think that was what we were doing in the workshop. And I've put the bale wrap on coarse plate. We'll see how that goes. Not great is the answer. Problem with field 8 and with a couple of other fields as well on here is I see when I ploughed them, I seem to be desperate to plough every single inch of land possible to cover with proper planted grass, and that means there's no real headland. And apart from the fact that it just seems to be driving over bales, whenever there's a bale near the edge, it just gets stuck. That gets sorted when I move maps because I don't go quite so crazy with ploughing in the field. So yeah. I seem to be having real. It actually worked pretty on Greenlands. It worked pretty well. Today on Calmsden, the bale wrapper does not want to work well. I can't remember if that's a base game one or not, but yeah, it just doesn't want to behave. Try messing around with offsets and stuff. It shouldn't need an offset, I don't think. But there we are. It's getting late-ish in the day for October. Obviously, it gets dark fairly early, and on Calmsden, it gets properly dark, which I really like. So we're probably going to have to finish this job up in next game day. So we'll be end of October, moving into November for moving to the new map. Not new map, new version of the map. Courseplay is actually doing some bale wrapping for us, which is very nice. There is an option with this bale wrapper to have an end turner, which I would possibly like to get, just because it stops the bales moving, although they're pretty good in FS22, so I don't know if we need it or not. So I'm just finishing up the last of the bale wrapping on here. Because we often use the Anderson bale collector, maybe we don't want an end turner because this is better for picking them up with that. And the rolling is not too bad. It's only really on field 12 where we have an issue with fields with bales rolling, and they roll into the river, so we might want it for that. Because if we're going to swap sides on which side is grass, that means they're going to roll into the hedge and get lost, possibly. So I have also baled the cow pasture, so need to get these wrapped as well. Got a reasonable number of bales off of here, actually, more than I remember getting before. Maybe that's because we waited until the crop was at kind of max harvestable state, whereas a lot of the time I've been cutting early and going for more cuts, whereas I think, and I'm not sure actually, because when we move versions of the map, I'm going to be using pretty much the built-in geo with the map, because it was made by some guy called Disturbed. The one thing I have tweaked is the grass, because Oxy put it back to the default grass behavior, and the only thing I don't like with that is it stays in the mowable state all the way through winter. So what I've done is change it so that it goes back to state 2, so that it sort of looks like it is now. So we might end up getting one more cut in, I'm not sure, but I'll probably go with 3 cuts. There is a trailer that I want for sale, so we're going to sell the Massey trailer off for 10 grand. I'm going to buy this Red Rock trailer for 8 grand. The reason I'm buying this is some of you who have been around for it, now we're also leasing the Anderson bale stacker. We're going to leave the trailer there for now. Some of you who have been around the channel for a while, back in FS19 days, you may remember that I took about a month off of making videos. Pretty much I was making about 2 a week, and because I was away with work and I was staying on a farm, in a rented cottage on the farm, and they had a black case Puma, I think it was a Puma, and a Red Rock trailer. I already have the black case. Theirs was metallic, it was gloss rather than matte, but I kind of like matte paint. So I'm just recreating that really. We've got the black case Puma, didn't crash there, maybe. Remember, all my crashes are performed by trained professionals on a closed film set. Yeah, so just kind of recreating that Red Rock trailer and the black case tractor. It was a really cool looking setup. I used to love when it would drive past the cottage I was staying in. So when that mod came up, I had added it to the game, and then completely by chance, because I didn't drop it into the sale so we could buy it, which you can do, you know, but I didn't do it for this. And yeah, it just cropped up, and so we brought it because I think it's really nice to have on the farm. So these bales we are going to store up on the edge of the cow pasture. Hopefully the cows won't eat them, given that they are in their nice tasty wrap with added minerals. So yeah, somehow managed to scoop a bale as the bale lifter folded without it being collected. I don't think I've ever managed to do that before. But yeah, we're going to stick a couple of stacks of bales in the cow pasture, and then last job we have to do is the field up by the garden centre. I guess the garden centre. We're going to do, I think I did this last time on here, we're going to use follow me because it's about the best way to do this field because it's a bit of a funky shape and it has a few collisions in it. And what's a little bit annoying is something with the fence doesn't like to be followed. I think that's it. I wonder if that's the problem I'm having with the JCB as well, where I'm trying to use follow me with that. But it's fine to follow, so we've swapped the Fendt over on to the baler, and we've got the case on the windrower, and I do actually use course plate. Okay, I didn't think I did. So I guess, oh, I use course plate for both. Interesting. Okay, and maybe I couldn't get follow me to work with the Fendt. I can't remember. But what I have realised is I have the wrong working width set, so we're going to correct that and regenerate the course. And off we go again. Yeah, I thought I used follow me for this, but it's been a while. This was recorded quite a while ago, so yeah, I'm running around in the little John Deere with the bale wrapper, doing the bale wrapping for them. Basically want to keep on top of this job so that I think the last time I did this field I had loads of unwrapped bales at the end that I had to race around in the dark and try and find. But we have skipped ahead to the 3rd of October. It's actually midday already. It's this job took quite a long time, so yeah. But the windrower has nearly finished. I'm not worried about the mist bits that we have. We have plenty of bales coming off of here, and you know, we've already got, I think, at least 3 full stacks up here, maybe 5. Oh yeah, we're definitely not short of bales on here. Plus the 2 that we have at the farm. Plus the 2 in the cow field. I think we've got 4. I think I can only see 1 off in the distance. Oh yeah. But we have all of these to clear, and I'm not sure if at this point whether we'd cleared the field by the horse pasture or not. Like I said, this was recorded, I want to say at least, well, maybe 4 or 5 days ago, and in that time I have since recorded another 4 farm sim videos, 2 of which are on Calmsden. So yeah, I've done a lot since. I don't like normally leaving such a big gap. There's two schools of thought I have on this. I will usually record game footage as I can. That means that sometimes some of the footage is recorded really early, and I can either, and this is not really a question because it's down to when I have time or not. And I think I'm verging on the latter, but we'll see. I can either record the voiceover as soon as I can, and that means the gameplay is fresh in my head, but it means the commentary might be a little bit out of date in terms of comments and things that have happened in the game and all that kind of thing. Or I can do what I'm doing now, and I'm recording the commentary a day before release. I'd like to do a couple of days before normally, and it means I'm a bit more current with comments that people have made on previous videos and if cool things have happened in farm sim. So yeah, generally probably prefer the latter, assuming that it works with my schedule for recording stuff. So we now have a bunch of bale collecting to do. I'm going to use the case for that. Excuse me. Yeah, we have a bunch of bale collecting to do, which I'm going to use the case for just because it's a bit bigger. It's not much more powerful than the Fendt. It's got a bit more mass behind it, and a fully loaded bale collector is pretty heavy, so that's why I've gone for the case. And yeah, this Anderson bale collector does look rather large on the Fendt. Probably one of the things that spawned the suggestion that maybe my tractors are a little bit small sometimes. Farm Sim lets you get away with a lot in terms of horsepower and tractor size. Generally, you can get away with a lot less horsepower and a lot less tractor than you can in the real world, I think. Anyway, that's all the bales collected. So I'm going to say thanks for watching, folks. Hope you enjoyed the video. Like, subscribe, comment, and I will catch you next time on Calmsden.